139 to 122. 76ers big win tonight over the Milwaukee Bucks. They go to 25 and 21. Bucks fall to 18 and 27. I am Coy Camiscioli for you guys here. A big bounce back win after a disastrous loss to the Charlotte Hornets last night. Thank God I was not able to watch that game because it got moved up due to the snowstorm. It ended up being a 3 o'clock game. I'm so glad I did not watch it. But I'm going to talk about that a little bit, not too much. It kind of has a little correlation as to what happened tonight. This is just a great Sixers win. I am so happy for this team after this game. You know, it's the Bucks. They're not the best team. Giannis is down. But it's also Doc Rivers on the other side. We kind of want to beat him after certain things in our past. And just the second half, excellent second half by the 76ers. They were firing on all cylinders offensively. They were firing all cylinders offensively in the entire game. You know, they came out scoring 42 points in that first quarter. And from there, we just kind of controlled it offensively. So I'm going to put down I'm going to go through a couple notes I had from that second half. A couple really cool things for the Sixers. So in that third quarter, Paul George really started to get hot. I'm going to talk about our big three in George, Maxey, and Embiid soon. But he really started to get hot. He knocked down a couple threes, getting our lead up a little bit. And we went on a great run to end the third quarter to go up 11 points. And that fourth quarter, we just continued to pour it on. It was Jared McCain and Paul George. I mean, those two were just awesome. And the great thing here is, obviously, Jared McCain has had a slow start to the season. He battled a knee injury, trying to overcome it, recover, and get back to what he was in the beginning of his rookie season last year. And he was not getting minutes, and deservingly so. This is a deep 76ers team, so if someone's not performing, they can't get minutes. We're fighting for postseason spot. He's been back and forth down in the G League a little bit and up with the Sixers, obviously. And, you know, the one positive last night against the Hornets, and if this is what it took for us, if we had to get blown out for this to happen, Jared McCain finally found his shot a little bit. You know, he knocked down 4 3-pointers last night against the Hornets, and he scored 16 points, I believe. So it was first game like that in a while. So again, very bad night for the Sixers against the Hornets the night before. But another great night for Jared McCain in this one. And him and Paul George just were taking over in the fourth quarter. McCain started the quarter with a 3. Then Paul George hit back-to-back big threes. He was feeling it. And then Jared McCain hit back-to-back threes. And we got the lead to go up to 19. So these two guys, and this was so awesome to watch because these are the two guys that you just hadn't really expected too much offensively this year. You know, Paul George has been great. He's had his moments, especially on defense. But Jared McCain really hasn't had a moment. He hasn't really been playing. So to see these two guys going back and forth, knocking down shots and just catching fire, it was awesome. And it was all Sixers. Jared McCain has definitely earned his minutes back in the rotation, you know, especially with Quentin Grimes, who's kind of been struggling lately, and he did not play in this game. He had an injury designation, ankle injury. So the game got within 12 with 4 minutes left. We checked Embiid back in real fast. He had a quick 3, and that was pretty much the game. So this is finally, and I'm so excited about this, this is finally one of those games, you know, where we didn't blow them out. We kind of did. But it was a comfortable lead, and we didn't have to play Embiid really in that fourth quarter. You know, I told you how he checked back in for a minute or two in that fourth quarter, knocked down a 3, but he wasn't really doing too much. He wasn't making any insane plays, you know. He was just out there to make a basket or two to put the game away. And if you guys remember, a couple years ago, this is what the Sixers were like in the regular season, that Joel Embiid did not have to play at all in these fourth quarters because we were just blowing teams out. And if we can kind of get back to that a little bit, I know this is one game, it's against the Bucks, who are not even in the playoff picture right now. But I have to say that if we can get back to that and Joel Embiid can miss, you know, a fourth quarter from time to time, not have to worry about it, and we can just keep him healthy, it's huge. It is absolutely huge if we can limit him to 30 minutes a night some games. So great stuff there. This is the Sixers' 25th win on the season. We had only 24 all of last year. So that's great stuff. And after the game, Joel Embiid was asked how good it feels right now to be balling at this level again. And he was just overwhelmed with joy. He seemed just so happy with how he's playing right now. So happy to be healthy with these guys. He clearly loves his team right now. And it's a little bit different this year. You can tell. But yeah, he is just, it's awesome to see. And it's really cool. A lot of people wrote him off. You know, And as Sixers fans who didn't want to write him off and knew that he was going to be good again, I don't know if we thought he was going to get back to this level. I think we all thought that he was going to be limited to a certain standpoint. But no, he's proved everybody wrong. Like, everybody wrong, that he is still an MVP caliber player. If he started playing like this in the beginning of the season and he was playing almost every game, he would be in the MVP conversation, without a doubt. He deserves to be an all-star. This is just an unbelievable run by Joel Embiid. I want to give credit to his doctor and give credit to Joel Embiid and his work ethic. And I'll tell you right now, to NBA fans from around the league, especially Sixers fans, you got to give this man his damn flowers. It is awesome that he's playing like this again. He deserves this, and we deserve this as fans, but especially Joel Embiid. This is great for the city. It's great for everybody involved to see him like this again. It's good for the league, too. Some people want to hate on Joel Embiid. That's fine. It's good for the league when he's healthy. He's one of the most dominant centers in our game, one of the most dominant in this generation. So I am so happy for Joel Embiid. He really deserves it. I wanted to take a moment on this episode to, say all that stuff, say what I'm thinking about Joel Embiid. But great stuff there, seriously. So looking at the box scores a little bit, again, it was the big three. Paul George, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey. Paul George led the way, 32 points, 11 of 21 from the field, 9 of 15 from three-point land. An excellent shooting night for Paul George. Again, this was really cool to watch. I tweeted something on my Twitter talking about how, listen, I know he's not going to drop 30 every night, but this version of Paul George scoring-wise, it kind of makes his team unstoppable. I'm being serious. Again, I don't want to overreact because it's the Bucks. But, he was awesome. And I know 9 of 15 from knocking down three-pointers is not sustainable, but it was really cool to see. He had 5 rebounds, 5 assists, tackle along with it, 2 steals as well, plus 13 in the plus-minus category for him. Great job tonight from Paul George. Joel Embiid, in just 29 minutes, had 29 points, 11 of 24 from the field, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. Great job from him. 6 offensive rebounds as well. And Tyrese Maxey, that last part of that big three, 22 points, 9 of 19 from the field, 9 assists as well, 3 rebounds. Edgecombe, 12 points, 4 of 7 from the field. He was perfect from 3 with 3 of them. 8 rebounds and 7 assists for him, and 2 blocks and a steal. So he was kind of close to flirting with a triple-double. Kelly Oubre, he got the start. It looks like he's taken Dominic Barlow's starting spot, and I think most people kind of figured this. But I was starting to think that with Kelly Oubre out, the Sixers were really liking having Dominic Barlow start. But Barlow didn't even get that many minutes in this one, just 12 minutes off the bench. He had 4 points, nothing too crazy. 4 offensive rebounds, though, which is going to be huge for the Sixers down the stretch. But Kelly Oubre, he had 7 points, 3 of 6 from the field. Other names off the bench, Jared McCain. I haven't talked about him yet. 17 points, 6 of 8 from the field, 5 of 6 from 3. So, again, that is excellent to see. This is what we need to see from Jared McCain. Just really happy to see him play like this. Seriously. Adem Bona, he's taken over the backup center minutes, which I don't know if it's as a unanimous kind of decision that, that's one way to put it, I guess. But I don't know if it's a clear-cut decision that he deserves all the backup center minutes over Andre Drummond. But it's kind of been the, what the theme so far. He does have a great defensive presence. He kind of makes some little mistakes here and there as a young guy. But in 17 minutes in this game, 6 points. But we're more looking at the 8 rebounds and 2 blocks that he had for the team. And that's kind of what he brings, for this team. So, again, I don't think it's as crazy of a balance, that was a bad way of explaining it. I don't think Adem Bona deserves every single backup center minute. I think Andre Drummond should be more consideration. But, there's a lot of rumors circulating right now of the Sixers shopping Andre Drummond. And guys, I don't know. I mentioned earlier in the season when Joel Embiid wasn't playing pretty much every game that I would be livid if this team traded Drummond because he was playing great. And he added that element of the corner three-point shot, which is awesome too. And, there's still a part of me in the back pocket for the Sixers team where it's kind of nice to have 3 good centers. Obviously, one's an MVP-level center in Joel Embiid, and then you got 2 decent role-player centers behind him. Because, worst-case scenario, and I don't even want to put this out in the world, Joel Embiid could get hurt again. Let's just say it happens again, which I pray to God every day that it doesn't. Adem Bona and Andre Drummond are serviceable. I don't think we'd have a shot at winning anything, but we could still maybe win a round with Adembona and Andre Drummond at center. They both bring different tools to the game. But I just don't understand what we're gonna get for Drummond. Like, I mean, what realistically, what are we gonna get? I don't see it. There's not as much on the block this year at the NBA trade deadline. You know, obviously Giannis is out there. What are we gonna do? Trade Drummond for? No. And I know that's not who we were looking at for Drummond. I'm not just gonna say that stupidly, but there's just not much out there for the Sixers, and I just not quite sure what we could get for Andre Drummond that makes it worth it, as opposed to having the luxury of having another center on this bench for this team. So we're just gonna have to see what our front office decides to do with Drummond. But for now, it's a Dembona time in the backup center spot, and he's been playing good. So but I just don't think it's, you know, I think Drummond does deserve some minutes here and there. But yeah. Justin Edwards, he got a lot of minutes tonight, 24 minutes. He had 8 points, 3 of 5 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. So a decent night from Justin Edwards. And Trendon Watford, Jabari Walker, who got a lot of minutes early in the year when the Sixers were missing a lot of guys. Their roles have pretty much diminished entirely. But they're still good players on our bench that they will get minutes. And if they perform, they'll get 12 to 15 minutes on a night where, you know, we're in a competitive game. It just comes down to performing. But nothing too much from here in this one. They combined for just 8 minutes. Watford, 6 minutes. Jabari Walker just came in for garbage time at the end. And Janai Broom got in the game as well for garbage time at the end. But, yeah, that's it for the Sixers, really. 52% from the field on the night, 52% from 3. They shot 22 of 42 from 3. Those are always good numbers. As for the Bucks, Miles Turner, he had a 31-point night, which good for him. You know, 10 of 16 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. The Bucks' defense was pretty atrocious in this game. They had pretty good shooting numbers, and they ended up scoring 122 points. They were 51% from the field, 44% from 3. But, again, their defense was really bad, and they weren't very effective on the glass either. So, just a great night for the Sixers. And I'm going to go out and make a bold take right now, and I'm probably going to post this on the TikTok and stuff like that. I tweeted this as well. I think this win is the start of something special for the Sixers team. I firmly believe that. I think this is the start of something special for the Sixers team. I think we're finally getting in sync with each other. Now listen, I know we're going back and forth with win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. And when I say this, I'm not saying technically this team is going to go on a finals run. I'm just saying, you know, I think this is the time where the Sixers might finally go on a winning streak. I really think that we might go and win, you know, 13 of 20 or 14 of 20 or something like that. I really hope so, and we can move up in the standings. So, looking ahead at the Sixers schedule, they have the Kings on Thursday at home. Then they round out this homestand with the Pelicans on Saturday. Those are 2 games that we should win. Hopefully we win. And then we have that out west trip that we just can't get gutted by. That sometimes happens. It happens to the Flyers all the time. Flyers catch a stray there. That West Coast trip consists of the Clippers on a Monday, February 2nd, and a back-to-back on Tuesday, February 3rd against the Golden State Warriors, then Thursday, February 5th against the Lakers, Saturday, February 7th against the Suns, and Monday, February 9th against the Trailblazers. So that's going to be a long one, and then we come home and face 2 tough Eastern Conference teams in the Knicks and Hawks, and separated by the All-Star break. So that West Coast trip will lead us into the All-Star break, and then the Knicks game will be the final game before the All-Star break. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So I want the Sixers to take care of business coming up against the Kings and Pelicans. We should. And then if we could go over 500 on this West Coast trip, you know, it's 5 games. If we go 4-1, I really like 4-1, 3-2. I really like what we're working with here. You know, it's going to be a tight one. So, yeah, guys, NBA standings update. I'll take a look at that real fast. Sixers currently hold the 6th seed. They're 9 games back in first place. 4 games back of the Celtics for that number 2 seed, 3 games back of that 3 seed from the New York Knicks, and 2 games back of the 5 seed of the Cavs, and 3 games back of the 4 seed from the Raptors. So the Raptors and Knicks are tied for that 3 seed right now. They are just a half game up on the Heat from that 7 seed play-in spot. Obviously, that's the top play-in seed, and the Hornets actually just jumped the Bucks in a tiebreaker as they're the last team or the first team out right now, as the Sixers have a 6.5 game lead over the first team out. So great game for the Sixers. Real fast, if there's anything else from tonight, take a look. The Pistons and Nuggets, they're coming down to the wire. That's a good game. I was watching that before I started recording. We got the Suns and Nets. That doesn't really do much. Wizards beat the Blazers. Knicks beat the Canes, so they're starting to get their rhythm back a little bit. And the Thunder beat the Pelicans. So nothing really crazy for the Sixers. But, guys, let me play it to outro. 76ers. Great win tonight, guys. Take care. Enjoy the night. I'll be back to recap the Sixers' upcoming game against the Canes. Yes, the Canes. Go Sixers, guys.